Hello, hello. Oh, I want the elemental oracle. Hi, hello. So you can tell from the title that today's going to be a self read. And because it's a self read, I'm going to be reading myself. This is kind of going to be in a similar style to the archetypes and what was it? Alchemy Archetypes and Angels. Ooh. The title card and the Necromancer. I showed the backs of the title cards. That's why I flipped it over. The title card in the Necromancer, Gateway of Resurrection. It's Pisces, and I'm a Pisces, Sun and Mercury. First decan Pisces Sun, third decan Pisces Mercury, second decan Pisces Lilith. I just saw the Bereaved and the Shining Gale. Shining Quarry, sorry. Wild and Fertile Land. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pull. This is it's a self read like I already said. I'm gonna pull an alchemy of something that I'm working towards. I'm gonna roll a d4, and I'm gonna pick. Well, I'm gonna shuffle, draw, pull, get a challenge from the deck dungeon challenge, and then I'm gonna roll a d4 and pick that many more alchemies to help with the one. So, kind of like something I'm working towards or being challenged with things that I've already done or accomplished that could help. And that's it. I feel like there have been a few times in my life where I've been like busy or otherwise preoccupied. And there'll be like something like I was building spreads at one point in my last semester, and I was like, I need to focus on class. And then when I'm done with school, I'll get back to this. School finished, I never got back to it. There were some things that came up a few years ago. And at the time, I had my reasons for choosing not to engage those things. And now I find myself um, thinking otherwise, I guess. But now, like, so much time has passed, I'm like, what was even like happening? You know what I mean? It's like a lot of vague recollections. So I was like, you know what? I'll do a self read. Why not? And I'll do this one live because why not? Four of Wands, King of Pentacles. Let's see. And so this way, I'm going to split this deck. One half will be for one set of alchemy cards, the other half will be for the other. Because it's just too massive to shuffle all at once. Cool. So, only 3 minutes. Almost 4. Let's get into it. An alchemy that should I speak in the third person? And being challenged with, working towards, could use now. I think I want to get all these first. I also have the Wadum, so I'm using the SKT for Vitruvian and Revelations editions, Wadum Alchemy and the Wadum Archetypes. I don't know what I'm going to use the archetypes for necessarily yet. All right. Clean flipper, clean fall, please. I see smoke. Fumus at the bottom. Clean flipper, clean ball, please. Ooh. think I want to get all the alchemy out first. Oh, okay. Well. Oh my gosh. So many cards. I guess this is going to be a complex task. Here it is. We have Neptune on the floor. I think that was the only one that fell. We have two cards that came out face down, Blood and Darkening. Then we have four cards that also slid out. Chiron, Copper, Antimony, and Mars. I'm not taking all these. Bottom of the deck is Spring. But I'm not. I ain't doing all this. Well, I guess it wouldn't be fair to pull them. Excuse me. You know what? I could do 32 because I'm 32 years old. Do I clean flip or clean fall, or do I ask Google to give me a number? I'll clean flip or clean fall. Oop, since this is a self read, there's spring again with autumn. I can take all the time I need. Ash. All right. Now the other rolling. Oh my gosh. Okay. Pluto at the bottom of the deck. Like 3 cards came out. One is a season, and the season is autumn. We have a planet. The planet is Jupiter. And then we have Conjunctio conjunction. So 19,671, and Pluto is 10. Give me a second. I gotta look at Jupiter and autumn. Where is my iPad? I literally just had it. Here it is. Oof. All right. Time Nomad. Autumn starts. Libra season. And it ends Capricorn. So let's go September 22nd. Jupiter is 21 degrees of Cancer. And then we'll go December 22nd. Jupiter is 22 degrees of Cancer. Does it retrograde in that time? Or does it just move 2 degrees? Yeah, it does retrograde in that time. Stations retrograde. Hold up. Is it retrograde? Oh, it is retrograde. Okay. So it's going to retrograde, but there's no conjunction there that I know of. All right. Jupiter, Autumn, conjunction, real quick. Jupiter is number 6. Expansion, possibility, and fortune. Autumn is a time of harvest. The season of harvest. 19. The culmination, the broad view, and generosity. Culmination, expansion, conjunctio. 71. It's the last card. Love, divine union, and infinity. Interesting. All right. I'm going to roll this. 1. There is one challenge, or one aspect, I guess, to the challenge. And it is the Fool's at the bottom. Let's see. It is. Oop. Two cards came out. One of them is a major, though. Bottom of the deck is the Two of Coins. Let's see. The Queen of Wands in the World. This is interesting. Queen of Wands has been coming out a lot lately. The walls of the room of the Queen of Wands are decorated with elaborate murals. She is working on a painting of a fire giant on the far wall, her elegant robes splattered with paint. Creatures who encounter the Queen of Wands can roll 1d12 and add it to an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw once during the next 24 hours. If any creature gives the Queen a piece of art they have created that impresses her, she gives them a set of marvelous pigments. The door in the Queen's room is unlocked. Let's roll a d12. I don't know why I said it like that. I don't think this is this. Nope, that's a d10. Here's the d12. The dodecahedron. Right? Or is the dodecahedron? I can't remember if dodecahedron is 12 or if I'm pretty sure icosahedron is 20. Dodecahedron is 12. I'm rolling it in here so it doesn't. Oof. 9. No, 6. That's like right in the middle of the road, right? If 12 is the max, 6. Cool. So adding a 6 in major arcana is the lovers. The boon of the world is a world that was destroyed is returned. The party receives something that will give them a chance to save the world. Ooh, girl. A world that was destroyed is returned. Interesting. Sometimes I don't know why I do these live. Because like there are personal of course it's personal. Like it's a reading for me. Things that like synchronicities that resonate towards previous experiences and stuff. This one aligns with what I was already feeling. Not necessarily feeling. It started as a feeling and it's slowly been growing into a knowing. And it's interesting because, like, I don't know how it'll play out. Did that make sense? Have you ever, like, it's beyond knowing something and I don't know why I know what I know, but it's just like, how, you know? Jupiter is in Cancer right now. Sorry, I'm just checking something. Let's see. When does Jupiter station retrograde? November 11th, Jupiter stations retrograde at 25 degrees. Okay. All right. Next, we roll the d4 again. Supporting alchemy is 3. Should I keep Pluto? No. Pluto, the realm of undeniable power. It speaks to a certain inevitability of things. Something's grown heavy, right? And when things are, it's like when a fruit is ripe. If it's not picked off of the tree, it'll fall when it's heavy. I'm going to give it 2 shuffles, and I'm going to pull the top 3 because I'm not trying to get like 10 cards. Magnum Opus just did a dirty flip. We have Scintillai, Scintillai, Sparks of Light, Venus, and Smoke, Fumus. Bottom of the deck is Raven's Head, which is interesting. And the description of this card, it kind of talks about like whether you're ready for something or not. It's like ready or not, something is going to happen, right? It feels like it plays on the undeniability of Pluto's undeniable power. We have the Force, the Tamed Lion as a more modern aspect, going on Scintillai on top of Smoke. The Wheel of Life. The Sphinx, Destiny Turning. With the Ebony Shield at the bottom of the deck. Power and Authority of Earth. I don't know if I saw. I'd had to, right? The Chancellor, Angel of Justice, is at the bottom of the other deck. All this major arcana energy. This is not what I was expecting. Not necessarily. I feel like this is fairly straightforward. It's not necessarily what I was expecting because it isn't. But it does align with some things that I've been slowly but surely navigating towards for the past little minute. All right. And then one of these for Venus. It dirty flipped face down. Bottom of the deck is the Page of Coins. We just saw the Page of Coins recently. A new skill is what the Page of Coins is looking for. Page of Coins, Two of Coins. And then it's Eight of Chalices, Ace of Chalices. And then it's the Fool and the Ace of Wands. So this is a Nine of Cups that is like walking away from something towards that Ace of Cups to get one's desire. Even with the Two of Coins and the Page of Coins, it's like the page has chosen one and is like giving it the time, attention, and effort it requires. Under the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Cups is the Fool and the Ace of Wands. Interesting. Under these two, it's Temperance and the Seven of Coins. What's interesting, I guess, yeah, what's interesting about this is for the past little bit, usually in some way, shape, form, or another, if I'm not self sabotaging or getting in my own head, getting in my own way, I am using circumstance to keep me from pursuing what it is that I desire. And here lately, it's been feeling like it's time for me to do what I want to do and pursue what I want, especially now that I'm not weighed down by so many of the things that I was weighed down by. Now, a part of me like feel some type of way about that. I'm gonna give this a few shuffles. The top of the deck is gonna be an aspect that it's like the reluctant versus the top is going to be reluctance, and I guess the bottom will be truth. There's a part of me that's like, well, I should do this and I should do that and I shouldn't do this because this is the situation and circumstance or whatever. But it's like more and more this past month or so, it's just been a feeling of like it's time. What is my responsibility, and what isn't. And it's not for me to sacrifice when I don't have to. The vision 55 on reluctance, and the shaman 16 on the other side. Bottom of the deck is the vow 54. 54, 55. Yeah. So there are, as I've been like settling within myself on my course, path, and direction, what I want to do. First, it's like it's been these greater sort of choices and decisions. And then it's been okay, like if I move in this direction, then what do I want my path to be? Like, what industry do I want to work in? And how do I want to approach my career? And like other aspects of my life. I used to say that I want everything. and I'm willing to do anything to get it. Or I'm willing to do what I need to get what I want. And it was almost easier when what I needed to do was like healing or like shadow work or something like that. It was almost easier to work through all the things that I knew I needed to work through that were in direct opposition to what I wanted than it is to be in a space of like receiving it. You know what I mean? It's like preparing for a big trip or a big presentation or whatever. It was easier to do all the work of like preparing the presentation or packing and getting affairs in order for a trip than it is to like actually board the plane or to stand in front of whoever. Now, in hindsight, not in hindsight, on one hand, like it makes sense. Um, you know, but on the other, it's like the challenge could be seen sort of either way. The majors are interesting. Oh, it's 8, 10, 11. I kind of want to look. If this is like the Hermit, that would be wild. Because then it'd be 8, 9, 10, 11. Let's see. It's the Nine of Chalices. The Nine of Chalices is on Venus. And again, we saw that Eight of Cups, Ace of Cups. I feel like this is so like anticlimactic. And the vow is here too. I don't. I was expecting. I guess part of me was hoping for some kind of alchemy that would have come out that would have been something like what I can do to push the spiritual needle towards the like a harmonious future. And what came out is like, girl, like focus on you. Do your own thing. You have coming for you what you have coming for you. And everything else is for everyone else. What is oh, it's on here too. We see this snake in Canunctio and the Vision. It's actually super similar. In the Vision, though, it's untangled. In Canunctio, there's like it's twisted. Here, it's not. But then in the Shaman, it's like completely let go of that snake. Let's see. Let's get. There are other. Copper is still in the deck, right? Let's get greater collective alchemy. Maybe I shouldn't. I'll give it 5, and then I'll cut and pull the top if nothing flips or falls. 3. 2. Oop, there we go. It came out face down. Bottom of the deck is Ash, 33. It's interesting. We just saw um, in Breakthrough and the magical dimensions, oracle cards, and activators. But it's like smoke and fire and ash. Here, oil of vitriol, oleum vitrioli 35 is the card that came out. Vitriol and oil. Oil of vitriol and ash. This is so interesting. Okay. So, am I going to read all these? Sure. We'll start with autumn. I'll read them in the order they came out in. Autumn is 19. Autumn is the last season, and conjunction is the last card. Autumn, the culmination, the broad view, and generosity. This, yeah, I have a fortune. It was like generosity and something else are your something. I threw it away. In alchemical terms, autumn is the denouement of Earth's grand narrative. It is the symbol of culmination, harvesting, and resolution. The story of our year finds closure, and we begin to look toward the horizons of the next one. It is likely this card will appear as an indicator of efforts culminating, of hard work paying off, of fruit hanging low for the taking. Gratitude and generosity are the spirit of the season, so share the wealth of your fortune. Looking back, you realize many hands and hearts have helped you along the way. Holding tight to your bounty won't do you any good. The alchemist shares their wisdom and wealth. They offer their boons back to the world as part of the ongoing cycle. Be like an autumnal tree, come to fruition and then release. That's interesting. What did it say? Boons of the world. The alchemist shares their wisdom and wealth. They offer their boons back to the world as part of the ongoing cycle. And the boon of the world is here. Major arcana are boons, minors are challenges. There's the world, which is a boon. And I think another thing too, I reached the point too where I realized I'm not in a position to do anything. you know, um, I've donated to several causes over the years. I've donated to like different things over the years since I started working. And I'm not in a position where I can do that now. Um, and I feel like when it comes to a lot of things that are going on, it's like I can't do anything about much of most of it, if not all of it. And then it was like, okay, well, if I work on getting myself where I want to be, then at least I'll be in a position to like maybe like donate financially or to like do I would just be in a better position to do something. And that was one of the things that initially got me like, okay, like, you know, I've tried. It's a confluence of things. There's a lot that I've asked for. There's a lot that I know, and I don't have the ability to keep myself stagnant anymore. Um, and of course, in the past, there were things that I like accomplished that were for me to accomplish so that I would be comfortable, um, moving in the direction that I'm moving in, right? But yeah, I don't have to. If I get all the way into it, I'll just get like heated. But I'm not in a position to do anything right now. It's like, again, with the fruition and release, I have to reap some of the things that I've sown and cultivated. The Seven of Pentacles was there behind the Ace of Wands. I have to harvest my own yields to have something to like give. And so, in that, it's been a bit of a comfort. Jupiter, expansion, possibility, and fortune. Jupiter is often a welcome sight, emerging from the darkness, shimmering with possibilities. It is the planet of growth, expansion, success, and elevation. When this card appears, the future is full and bright, perhaps even dazzling. Everyone wants to be around Jupiterian energy and to claim a little for themselves, so there is likely a magnetic feeling at play. The work is to keep Jupiter's bigness in balance during the wave of expansion that's taking place. Its shadow is most easily seen in celebrity culture, excess consumption, and messaging of never enough. You may begin comparing yourself with others or assessing your value. Don't double judge yourself for this. Jupiter happens. Instead, realign with the benevolent message in your heart. What truly needs expanding? It's likely not your followers or your bank account. And then Conjunctio conjunction, love, divine union, and infinity. Conjunctio is the great alchemical operation of love. Hold up, wait. There are multiple. Calcinatio calcification is the great alchemical operation of fire. Solutio is the great alchemical operation of water. Coagulatio is the great alchemical operation of earth. Sublimatio is the great alchemical operation of air. Mortifactio is the great alchemical operation of darkness. Rotatio is the great alchemical operation of the wheel. Separatio is the great alchemical operation of the sword. And Conjunctio is the great alchemical operation of love. Okay. I was just like, what are the other elements in their operations? During this stage, we witness the miraculous work of two opposites merging to create a unique third form. Sun and moon unite to reveal the entire cosmos. Black and white unite to reveal the spectrum of color. Unlike coagulatio, conjunctio represents a conscious and benevolent union, one that springs forth from awareness, acceptance, and devotion. It is not a compromise, but rather an activation, a holding of tension and presence that allows each of the entities to thrive and express themselves. Experiencing conjunctio is one of the blessings of the human experience, whether the bond is with human, nature, or divinity. Recognize it by the stirring of your heart and an element of surprise. Through the opposites arise the infinite. Already read the Queen of Wands. Her room is full of art, and she's working on a picture of a fire giant. If I can give her an art that she appreciates, decorated with elaborate murals, she is working on a painting of a fire giant on the far wall, her elegant robes splattered with paint. Creatures who encounter the Queen of Wands can roll 1d12 and add it to an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw once during the next 24 hours. If any creature gives the Queen a piece of art they have created that impresses her, she gives them a set of marvelous pigments. The door to the Queen's room is unlocked. I had it. Yeah. I feel like this is just like this is it didn't work out. Well, it's not that it didn't work out. It's just like not. I didn't expect for the alchemy to be like follow your heart, do what you know is right, uh, reap your harvest, and be generous and like love your life. I'm like, okay. I feel like this has come out before though. Marvelous. I'm gonna need both hands. Marvelous pigments. Not 3.5. Hello, 5E. Come on. Come on. Marvelous pigments. These pigments typically found in 1d4 pots inside a fine wooden box with a brush weighing 1 pound in total. These pigments allow you to create three-dimensional objects by painting them in 2 dimensions. The paint flows from the brush to form the desired object as you concentrate on its image. Each pot of paint is sufficient to cover 1,000 square feet of a surface, which lets you create inanimate objects or terrain features, such as a door, a pit, flowers, trees, cells, rooms, or weapons that are up to 10,000 cubic feet. It takes 10 minutes to cover 100 square feet. When you complete the painting, the object or terrain feature depicted becomes a real non magical object. Thus, painting a door on a wall creates an actual door that can be opened to whatever is beyond. Painting a pit on a floor creates a real pit, and its depth counts against the total area of objects you create. Nothing created by the pigments can have a value greater than 25 gold pieces. If you paint an object of greater value, such as a diamond or pile of gold, the object looks authentic, but close inspection reveals it is made from paste, bone, or some other worthless material. If you paint a form of energy, such as fire or lightning, the energy appears but dissipates as soon as you complete the painting, doing no harm to anything. Wow. Paint something in the 2D that becomes real in the 3D. Interesting. Well, how many pots of paint I get? I'm gonna roll the D4. Let's see. Let's see. How many pots? How many pots of marvelous pigment? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Oh, it's not in the case. Wow. Oh, 4. Woo! Let's go. It fell on the thing. I was about to say, with my luck, it'll be 1. I'm glad I didn't like jinx it or like self sabotage that because 4 pigments. So with 4 pigments, that is each pot is sufficient to cover 1,000 square feet of surface. Which lets you create inanimate objects or terrain features such as a door, pit, flowers, trees, cells, rooms, or weapons that are up to 10,000 cubic feet. It takes 10 minutes to cover 100 square feet. Interesting. And then with the 9 of Cups being down there by Venus, love that energy. And what's clarifying that is the world, right? I'll just close this too. Here we go. In the boon of the world, a world that was destroyed is restored. The party receives something that will give them a chance to save the world. It's interesting that the second boon in this is the party receives something that will give them a chance to save the world. And anything drawn with the marvelous pigment becomes real. Drawn in the 2D becomes a three-dimensional non-magical object. So, because these both came out, I can take all the ego out of it and be like, obviously the boon is to receive something. So there is a piece of art that will or has impressed the queen that gets her to gift the marvelous pigments. The world is very large, but also very small, right? Again, maybe it's just like after I do what I know is for me to do, I'll be in a position to better do whatever for the people in my world that I care about. You know what I mean? There's like nothing I can do now. 4 pots of marvelous pigment. And you don't even have to be good at drawing. You just hold the brush and conjure the image in your mind, and the image paints itself. So it's interesting that the vision is here then. Cool. Number XLBI 66. No, 46. XL, not LX. Is Venus 4 and smoke is 32. 32, 4, 32, 46. Cool. Skin to lie. I think I don't know. I like hard C's rather than like skin to lie, a soft C, like a C that sounds like a K. Sparks of light, hope, sensation, and exhilaration. The skin to lie card arrives just in the nick of time, leaving a trail of celestial light to guide the way. Follow these flickers as if they are alchemical clues, guiding you to an illumined state. When this card appears, it's likely there has been a lull or void of direction in the laboratory. Some may even say the lights have been turned off. But in the deep void of darkness, a messenger of hope arrives, flickering and shimmering with enthusiasm. You might feel the scintillate as a childlike giddiness, the presence of magic, a vision in a dream, or a simple readiness to wake up from a long slumber. Follow the physical body. Follow the long slumber. I already read that. Follow the physical body. Follow the tingling sensations of aliveness within, and you will not be led astray. Vitality, clarity, and inspiration are within your reach. You are alive. You are a vital being. Appreciate this moment. One spark leads to the next. Love that energy. So these are things like alchemy of the past that is like helpful to whatever this is, right? And that is clarified by the force, the tamed lion, and you see like the sun in the background. Speaking of like vitality and stuff like that, obviously solar energy. I'm gonna read it. Yeah, I'll read it. So that, and that's what this past year has been. This, like, things have happened that I never would have necessarily thought. I've gotten clarity. Like, I can get like a vibe from something, from people, situations, places, whatever, right? Like, I'll get a good vibe. It's like, I don't know, I got a good vibe. I really like this person, place, or thing, and I don't necessarily know why. Sometimes I get a not great vibe, but then like things will happen, and it's like, oh, okay. Then it's like I'll see the alignment, or I'll see why I was so attracted to whatever, right? And that kind of like happens. And I'm like, whoa. But I mean, at first, it triggered a whole bunch of self stuff. It's like I've done the work to get ready. I have followed the sparks up until this point, and now faced with, and like this was what, earlier this year. and part in like the tail end of last year, and I talked about it on here, of like ways that I would usually self sabotage or just like not be open to certain things, and I didn't have a good reason to sabotage anymore. So I had to sit with that openness and be tormented and tortured by it until I was ready to go, like, yeah, like I accept, you know? The force. You've attained mastery over your own fears, and now it's time to show the world your fearlessness. The force is the audacity to achieve personal miracles. In spite of the obstacles you've had to endure, you prevail, you persist, you domineer. When the beast growls at the maiden, instead of responding with violence or fear, the maiden shows love, kindness, and compassion. Her loving kindness tames the lion. With patience and fortitude, you overcome the initial setbacks. You are held in high esteem. The violet sun, luminescent with astral light, is an omen of your spiritual transcendence to come. Keep the will steady and even keeled. Extend your trust to others, and you will turn their hearts. Keep the WILL steady, the well, excuse me, and then we have the wheel of life over here. Cool. Exactly. I mean, makes sense. I'm gonna read Fumus. Actually, I won't. I won't. Yeah. Veneris Venus. Pleasure, Eros, beauty. With the arrival of Venus, the senses open as if for the first time. It is the planet of pleasure, of touch, of sensual delights. Venus is often depicted as romance or eroticism between people, but it can also be experienced as an all out love affair with Mother Nature herself. Aphrodite emerging from the ocean is a classic example of Venus imagery, as is Cupid with his bow. No matter how old or jaded you are, when this card appears, it's a sign that attraction is at an all time high. The laboratory is alight with love. You may be in love with the work, with the materials, with another person, or with the world itself. Seeing beauty in small moments is a sign Venus is in balance, an obligatory reminder that pleasure and pain are usually found intertwined. And that one is clarified by the Nine of Chalices, which is a challenge perhaps overcome because this is an alchemy of old. It's taken what, like 5 years, which is appropriate. If you know me, you wouldn't be surprised. I feel like even if you don't know, well, if you don't know me, you might be. If you've only like seen me, you may be surprised. If you know me, you wouldn't be. Nine chalices rest on plinths in the center of the room set 10 feet apart. Each chalice contains a sparkling blue liquid. One chalice in each room contains a silver key which unlocks the door. To retrieve the key, a creature, me, must drink the entire contents of the correct chalice, which can be identified with the wisdom or intelligence check, perception or investigation accordingly. It's a DC 18 check for 9 chalices. Drinking from an incorrect chalice deals 2d4 cold damage to the drinker. Drinking the entire contents of the correct chalice heals the drinker 2d8 hit points and causes the key to appear in the empty chalice. The key does not appear if the liquid is not consumed. If the liquid is spilled from a chalice, it magically refills after 6 seconds. So, how do I want to read this? We saw the Eight of Cups and the Ace of Cups, which could be 8 chalices that had to be drained before the right one was found, or especially coming off of the Force and the Sparks of Light. Um, it is learning the lessons of the past, being present with the self, and moving towards the heart's desires, moving towards love rather than away from it. Also, there was a boon, the D6 or the D12. So +6. There's a DC of 12. So much more wise, much more intelligent. We'll say wise, much more perceptive. Um, I'll grab the D20 and I'll give it a roll. Give it a roll, give it a roll, give it a roll, give it a roll. Let's see. First chalice that I intuit. I drink it and 19. Let's go. 19, which is the sun, which is also autumn. Autumn is number 19. I didn't even need the 6. I didn't even need the +6 from the queen. It's a DC 18. But also that's what my journey has been for the past few years. And that's another, it makes it difficult sometimes, but ultimately easier. I try to pay attention to the movements in my life. And because I know what I want, because I know where I struggle, and because I have a vague idea of like what I can use to help me, I often find if it's not the thing I'm supposed to whatever learn, I can find something to learn. And even I remember earlier this year, just like because of what I've asked for and because of how I've moved, because of how I've navigated transitory, intermediate, transitional phases, knowing that they were transitional phases, like I could tell what I was being set up for in general. Like the way that the specifics rolled out was beyond me, but I had like a general idea of what I was being pushed towards. Now, more often than not, it's helpful because I know like what I'm supposed to be doing. But it doesn't necessarily make things easier, especially if it's something that I'm averse to, which is most things. Honestly, not everything, but most things I've been at least semi-averse to. And even again, like going back to the sparks of light, one thing that leads to another. It's because of that that I can kind of sort of like tell. And so here, the overall sort of direction of where things are heading, I had a decent idea of. The specifics of like the confirmation of that, the validation of it was more than I thought. And it's interesting because like I find myself in situations, I have found myself in situations within the past 2 months of being like, I don't know if the beginning of the year like broke me or fixed me because I usually like because I know what I know now. And because I know what I know, because I desire what I'm desiring, and because I'm moving and navigating the way that I'm moving and navigating, I don't have it in me to entertain things that I know aren't sort of like in alignment, you know? And it was easier when I could pretend that there was some lesson that I could learn by doing something that I knew was a mistake, right? And then in doing it, it becomes a lesson, right? Um, Pathways, choices, decisions, environments that I was like, I already know that this isn't for me, but you know, I'm a human and I'm having a human experience and I get to make mistakes. So I'm going to make this one. But now I inadvertently found my way to a lot of things that I've been wanting. And like cooking, for example, I've been wanting to learn how to cook or wanting to cook for years passively. But last year I was like, you know what? I'm really gonna get in the kitchen this time. I did not get in the kitchen. I was still in line at the drive-through at fast food restaurants. But this year, like I did a lot of cooking. And like again, like it wasn't anything that I would have necessarily chosen. I was very resistant at first, but by the end of it, I was like making good food. I was like, oh my gosh, like what? This is amazing. Like I did this. And then it's like I can eat like this whenever it requires effort. And I don't mind it. I'm just like slow. So I have to have the time to be able to like do it. So AKA before people are like starving and hangry. Um, but I don't mind it. I actually enjoy it. And again, like that was one of the things that I found my way to that I really really enjoyed. That left up to my own devices, I it's not that I never would have, but I had plenty of time and I never did. Um, and yeah, because I'm not self sabotaging anymore, it makes it easier to discern which cup has the key to what it is that I actually desire. So I'm proud of myself. I was like, I know me. First of all, I know me. Second of all, especially doing these live, it's easy to like hype myself up. And even if not, it's easy for me to like want to feel good. So I interpret things in a way that makes me great. But the dice said it. It wasn't me, you know? I'll take the confirmation. Thank you. Fumus, smoldering warning illusion. Smoke is a tantalizing phenomenon, stealth like and seductive. It swirls and twists, rising and disappearing. It travels great lengths with its signature scent, warning of a flame somewhere in life's laboratory. Such is the nature of the smoke card. When present, the senses are aroused and enticed, yet the warning of fire cannot be ignored. What kind of smoke is it? Was the fire intended, a ritual, or an accident? Does the smoke carry notes of incense and herbs, or is it laced with the fear stricken scent of destruction? The smoke card asks us to wake up, to become alert to what is happening around us. Something burns. Those around you may fall under smoke seduction, or they may flee in a panic. Don't get distracted by their response. Stay in your own laboratory and see what emerges as you study the smoldering veil. This is the shimmering veil in the Nine of Cups in this card. I almost mentioned it, but I didn't. And then this one mentions a smoldering veil. This is clarified by the will of life of old, right? This is something of old or an alchemy previously mastered. The Revelations was a more recent one. The scent of this smoke is the will of life. Bottom of the deck is the ebony shield, and the contender is under that, with the holy sea under the contender. 5/5, and the memory keeper under that holy sea. The ebony shield in this deck is my divine temptress. But with the power and authority of Earth as well, it's like Earth can smother the flames, right? And it's the power and authority of Earth. Here we go. I can't believe I slept on these little white books this whole time. Shame on me. Shame on me. Wheel of Life. When Keat. Oh, gosh. What's that? Hello. Now I'll open it to the healer. The Reaper. Wheel of Life. When key 10 appears to you, you are at a major turning point in your life. This is the symbol of changing cycles and even the cycles of our mind. What? This is the symbol of changing cycles and even the cycles of our mind, how we change our perspectives based on the evolution of our experiences. This is also our karma and the law of causation. This is the guardian spirit present during a major shift in your life. Well, hey, there's a guardian spirit present. So, be they flames of destruction, power and authority of earth, they'll be smothered. Guardian spirit, the ebony shield, literally. Cool. The shaman. 16. 16 is also the tower. The shaman is the magi, the sorcerer, the medicine woman. 3 archetypal ingredients constitute the shaman, and all must be present in order to reveal its magic. First, the shaman is activated by long standing and diligent study, the mentor. Second, its orientation is generously and accurately aimed toward the healing of the self, the other, and the culture. The healer. Oh my gosh, look, there's the healer. And I opened the book, I dropped it, and then opened it up to the healer. Interesting. And third, the shaman has a knack for finding doorways to the other world, allowing psychic visions. And here's the vision. Again, mention of the vision. Allowing psychic visions and old magic to leak into this world, the unseen. So the 3 archetypal ingredients are the mentor, the healer, and the unseen. In this way, the shaman is a master who bridges the everyday and the sacred, revealing potent power needed desperately in our time. Pluto, realm of undeniable power. Yet, where there is power, there is shadow. So the shaman must be vigilant in studying their darkness. This card reminds us that the force of healing is ultimately not our own. We must shape it and share it with the world. There is more sharing. Was it Jupiter? Right? Or was it Autumn that mentioned generosity? Cool. That's everything. This is like really great energy. Honestly, I should just take it. I feel like even and the Chancellor. Oh look, and then there's the Scarlet Shield. The Scarlet Shield is the Sanctum of the Valiant here. Angel of Justice with the Tamed Lion. Um, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I don't know if it'll necessarily. Maybe it won't be. Like maybe it won't. I was gonna say I don't know if it'll necessarily always be something that I struggle with. Um, and not that I was necessarily struggling before. I mean, sometimes I kind of do. Like when I'm in a good place and everything is great, there's something that I feel sometimes that something I'm assuming is almost akin to like survival skill, where it's like I'm doing really well. Like things in my life are like pretty awesome, but I know that it's not in some places. And like, I don't know. But yeah, maybe this is just the validation that I needed. That's just like, because I've been feeling it. And it's been easier for me to convince myself, but it's also, I've been open to the affirmation and validation of like, it is completely okay for you to get yourself in a position where you have something to do or you have something to give. And it's just like, I don't right now. Uh, and it is what it is. I don't necessarily feel bad about it, But again, I feel like there's a difference between finding myself in a good place while things aren't necessarily, and like intentionally positioning myself in that way. And I feel like in the past, it's been more of a like finding myself somewhere than a purposeful and intentional positioning. And it's not, I don't know, I guess like the work is done. The autumn, it's a time of, it's the culmination of the work. It's a time to reap the harvest. It's a time to move forward into more things. And from that position, like that's where the generosity and stuff comes in. So cool. I do kind of wonder. I'm like, well, I've always said that like I'm not necessarily going to be here for like a while. Like it's a matter of time before something happens and shifts, and I'm just like not going live anymore. You know, and the top of the year was kind of like that. Um, and the end of the year was cool. So I guess I'm gonna get final cards. I am going to roll these first. We have Taurus, the Emperor, and the element of fire. I'm pretty sure. Or water. It may be water, actually. Do I even have this on here anymore? I should. Because I didn't delete it. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Oh, come on. It is the element of fire. It is the element of fire. Okay. I was right. Why didn't I trust myself? It's interesting because yeah, the smoke card talked about fire, but we see the triangle of fire in ash as well. Under ash is Chiron in reverse. That's like collective alchemy. Um, yeah, maybe I'll just be one of those. That's fine. We ain't gotta throw no shade, shade. Taurus, the Emperor, and fire. The Emperor is Aries. But Taurus, like that second house energy, is comforts and earthly possessions and stuff like that. Right. Cool. What else about that? The fire giant. Maybe that's the energy of the fire giant that the Queen of Wands is painting the picture of, right? With the Emperor and fire, but it being a Taurian energy. So because it's a Taurian Emperor, it's more stationary, right? It's like it's an Emperor energy that holds its own, that holds its ground. It's not necessarily the conqueror. Um, if it were like a Aries energy or something like that, it would be like an emperor that is going out and claiming more territory, new territory, expanding the empire. But Taurus, the Taurian emperor, just like maintains its own boundaries, borders, makes sure that its empire thrives and that its people are like taken care of. But with the element of fire too, it's like passionately so, right? It's not I want to say impassive. Cool. The Scarlet Shield. There she is again. Power and authority of air. And the title card. The Will of Life is in between the title card and that Scarlet Shield. There it is again. Now the title card is at the top of the deck. Cool. So I guess this is what I'll do. Like I said, I was kind of hoping for something that I could do like spiritually, some kind of spiritual. I mean, the marvelous pigment, something like that, but more like this is an alchemy that I can learn to master to try to make a difference and impact in the world. But it's like, just focus on you. And maybe, I've heard a lot of people say that the best we can do for the collective is to do everything for ourselves. And because we're all one and because we're all connected, that effect ripples out into the collective. Like trickle down spirituality. Girl. Sorry. Look, there's the 8 of coins. The Magician, the 5 of coins, the 7 of wands, and the 8 of coins. 8 of chalices. Cool. I had a dream. I've been thinking about this dream a lot lately. I had a dream that was one thing, and then IRL, it kind of played out completely different. Oh, the thing that I like about Pluto Undeniable Power that I didn't necessarily mention, but that I thought about before I did this is I've been hearing, I don't watch a lot of readings like I kind of sort of used to. Excuse me, I don't remember where or who, but I've been seeing more and more. It may be Queen Cut, maybe not. I don't know. I don't remember. I've been seeing, and it's not just one reader. I've seen it a few places. More and more, it's like it may not be Queen Cup again. I don't know. It's like whatever you're working on. Oh, I remember who it was now. Well, like I said, I'm pretty sure it's been multiple people. It's not just one. It's like keep quiet about what you're working on because other people can take away from it in whatever way. Other people can steer it in the wrong direction or work against its manifestation, um, be it intentionally or not, by word or spiritual, whatever. And so I'm a weirdo, I guess. And there, what's for me is for me, you know? And there is nothing that anyone can do to take away anything from me, right? And if I don't, my thinking and mentality is if something doesn't work, it doesn't work for a reason. If something isn't happening, it's not happening for a reason. There's something for me to do, something for me to learn. The path doesn't ultimately lead to where I'm thinking or what I'm wanting. And but like ultimately, like what's for me is for me, and it doesn't matter what anyone has to say about it. There is nothing that anyone can do. It's like, the Bible says, no weapon formed against me shall prosper. It doesn't matter who's evil eyeing, whatever. But like that's just me. It's not necessarily the same for everyone, and not everyone is necessarily in a it's not necessarily universal. So part of me was like, should I do this? Especially if they're like, because like I said, this aligns perfectly with the knowing that has been building within me for the past few weeks. And like the time before that, I've settled on a direction. I was like, I could do this, I could do that, I could do all these other things. Um, but now things are settled. And so, of course, like part of me, like I said, doesn't subscribe to, I don't give people the power to interfere with anything. Um, I'm not that kind of girl. I'm not that kind of man. Um, I'm not that kind of person. And so I was like, oh, like Pluto, undeniable power. It doesn't matter. It's like the sun. The sun is going to go down and it's going to come up. The sun is always there. Earth is going to spin, right? But the sun is going to rise and the sun is going to set, and it doesn't matter what anyone has to say about it. So to see that undeniable power in Pluto that was at the bottom of the deck when the alchemy that I'm working towards came out, I was like, well, there it is, right? It doesn't matter if I put this out, it aligns with that whole. I don't leave myself. I'm just very like fierce, you know? The self and the kiss. Aww. Aww. Cute. All right. All the cards are put together so I can proceed to get final cards and put these away now. Yeah. And there's nothing that I thought I wanted. There's nothing that I've lost that has been a loss. There are things that I thought I wanted at the time. And, when they say rejection is God's protection, girl, they mean it. They really do. All right. Final alchemy. Ooh. We had a quick, clean fall. It was so clean it felt dirty. You know, bottom of the deck is copper. We've been seeing copper a lot. Is this 23? 23 is the mirror to the 32. 32 was smoke. How many cards came out? 3 cards, 4 cards. Kaput Korwi, number 47, Raven's Head. Glass, number 30. Speculum, Spring Again, number 17, there. And Saturn, number 7, Saturni. What? I'm interested in spring. I'll just read these real quick. Why not? Why not? Kaput Korwi, initiation the ordeal, the work begins. Though alchemy is filled with a myriad of open-ended symbols, the Raven's Head has a precise message. It arrives to mark the beginning of the work. This card indicates something has occurred, known or unknown, to initiate the spinning of the alchemical wheel. That was sitting at the bottom of the deck. There's the wheel again. With its mighty churning, things are about to change on every level. The Raven's work cannot be undone. Thank you. Just as the pill cannot be unswallowed or the pearl turned back to the sand. Again, Pluto, the realm of undeniable power, a work that cannot be undone. Or I'm interjecting, interfered with. But I've also realized this past year that we're all different, you know? And I've always stood behind and been a proponent of the take it as it resonates for you. If this doesn't apply to you, then don't take it. If how I speak or what I read isn't how things work for you, disregard it. Don't be like Will, right? Don't let me be your Bob. Don't let me be the Bob to your Will. Stranger Things. Like, if you know that your dreams are more than just dreams, and my advice to you is like, stand up to your nightmare, tell it that it can't harm you. But you know that your dreams are real. Don't get possessed because you listening to me. You know what I mean? And so, like, because of the way that I work and operate, like I said, I don't position myself in a way that allows for any external interference. If there's any interference, it's internal, right? So, if someone is doing whatever and something doesn't happen with the way that I work and operate, again, it's because there's something internally that causes that, right? And then I work through it, and then we get on our, like, we go on our way. That, or like something that I think is for me, isn't. But again, like, that's the way I operate. And I don't know what it requires to operate that way, because I don't believe and operate the way that it seems a lot of people believe and operate. And so, like, in general, just because it works for me doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. And don't listen to me if I don't resonate for you, and put yourself at a disadvantage. Right. And so that's not even this year, like, more so, I feel like May to early June, maybe late May to early June. What is that? Gemini season? It was about Gemini season. Maybe mid to late Taurus season to the end of Gemini season, where I was really like, wow, like, people are different. And again, it's something that I've known. Um, but it's like, what doesn't work for me really could work for other people. But my thing has always been to offer a different perspective anyway, right? I think there's so much information that's available. It's fine. Just take it as it resonates. I don't have to get all the way into it. With its mighty churning, things are about to change on every level. The raven's work cannot be undone, just as the pill cannot be unswallowed or the pearl turned back to sand. You may be overwhelmed or think the journey ahead is not for you. Your doubts matter not to the raven, as its appearance signifies it has chosen you. You are ready, and the moment is now. Can you go back to the way things were? Can you pretend nothing has changed? The raven calls a clear no. It does not apologize, as it knows your destiny is great. Destiny turning was the wheel of life. Next, number 30, Speculum, glass. Transparency, focus, and seeing. Glass transmits a sacred exchange between the alchemist and their work. Through the glass vessel, the alchemist sees their work, and the work sees the alchemist. What was once clouded in confusion becomes focused. What was once veiled becomes obvious. How are you currently seeing the world? What is your perspective? The glass card can be thought of as the gift of true perception. With it, you naturally focus on what is most central in your life. All else falls into the periphery. The next right action becomes clear. Glass is fragile by nature and requires regular cleaning, so find daily practices that align your vision to what is true. It's easy to slip into an old mode of seeing, particularly someone else's, so hold steady to your new alchemical lenses. Their power is mighty. Number 17, spring. Blossoming, becoming the horizon. When spring arrives, our eyes lift from the work and we peer out the window of our laboratory. We realize Earth has been in its own transformational spin, readying itself for a new era of growth. In a state of wonder, the alchemist sets aside the work of winter and opens the door, stepping into spring. When this card arrives, it indicates a blossoming, a coming into one's own. It's generation time. You may be dreaming up a business plan, humming a new melody, or flirting with a special someone. Spring is the season of the East, where the sun rises and lights the world. You do not have to work on anything during this phase. Let the energy of the season push through. You made it through winter, and the bulbs burst on their own. Bulbs burst on their own, a work that can't be undone. The mention of power. Was it power? Maybe not. And 7, Saturn. Structure, authority, and consequences. Saturn is known as the great ruler, the authoritative father, and the structuring force. Limitations, rules, logistics, and laws all fall under Saturn's claim, and they insist on our adherence. Saturn constricts, it corrects, it governs. The force of this planet is mind bogglingly frustrating, especially for creative types, as it can feel like one limitation after another, yet its ability to support is unmatched. No creative project can come to be without the Saturnian qualities of commitment, endurance, and steadiness. The tick of the clock reminds us of this planet's steadfast presence, eternally measuring. Wait. The tick of the clock, eternally measuring. This planet's steadfast presence. Okay. It's no surprise it's associated with the metal lead and the qualities of density and weight. To embrace Saturn is to embrace the foundation and become one's own central authority. It is not as dull or easy as it sounds. That's Saturn's secret. I'm pretty sure I've read this before. To embrace Saturn is to embrace the foundation and become one's own central authority. Taurus, the Emperor, and the element of fire. Bottom of the deck is copper, which is, let's go for it. Why not? Like 23. The Entertainer is like one of my favorite songs. Fertility, the womb, Venus. In ancient times, on an island called Cyprus, copper was mined extensively to make vessels and tools. This island is the same fertile ground of Aphrodite, the goddess associated with the planet Venus and the forces of love, pleasure, and fertility. Such is the magic of copper. This golden hued metal elicits delight and mystique, even a sense of awe. The copper card marks the arrival of Eros into the laboratory. It is likely the alchemist has been hard at work for too long, prioritizing scholarly pursuits over sensual pleasure. Get ready for a shift of priorities, for an awakening of the heart and the life generating centers of the body. Was that Saturn that mentioned generation power or generation time? No, that was spring. It had to be spring. Yeah, it's generation time. Where was I? Here we go. Get ready for a shift of priorities, for an awakening of the heart and the life generating centers of the body. In the true alchemical experiment, nothing is excluded or separate from the work. Bring sensuality into the fold and embrace it with reverence and curiosity. Aphrodite smiles upon you. So, yeah, there's that Venus Aphrodite energy again. Love it. Love to see it. Love that for me. Phenomenon. I think that's fine. We're gonna go here next. This half. Oh, that was immediate. Is that the world again? No, it's the Empress. Speaking of Venus, Venus, Copper, the Empress. Cool. Bottom of the deck is Death. 3 and 13. Hmm. The Empress is facing one way, Death is facing the other. Under Death is the Hermit. So it's like Death is facing the Hermit, and the Empress is sitting on the other side. There's the 9. Why was I looking for the Hermit? Oh, because it was 8, 10, 11. It was Strength, the Will of Fortune, and Justice. And I was like, oh, it's missing 9. Under the Hermit is the Queen of Chalices. Excuse me. Those are pomegranates, but they're looking like dragon fruits today. I saw it was like SpongeBob who lives in a dragon fruit under the sea. His house was a dragon fruit instead of a pineapple. Let's see. Dragon fruit. I feel like I didn't think about dragon fruit. I used to work as a microbiologist. I'm actually wearing the shirt of the company. I saw my boss like last Saturday. And it's interesting. Just like seeing my boss was an interesting synchronicity in and of itself. Um, my old boss. And yeah, she was my boss when I worked at this company. Why am I picking up my phone? Yeah. Well, anyway, there was something that we worked with. There were some things that were like clays and stuff like that. And I was testing micro. And of course, they had like growth. And she was like, it'd be kind of weird if there wasn't anything in the dirt. I was like, you know what? You're right. You're right. She's like, yeah, that's why like the limit is so high because it's like clay, like it's from the earth. So, you know, um, but I think it was dragon's blood that we also tested, but the name was like different. I was like, what is this? And I looked it up and it was like dragon's blood. I was like, oh, okay. Let's see. Dragon fruit symbolism. Symbolism. Let's not go to the AI overview today. Picture this. The enchanting language and meaning of dragon fruit flowers. Luxurious beauty and elegance. These flowers bloom only at night, offering a unique nocturnal allure, often associated with strength and renewal due to the resilient nature of the plant. And we saw strength in the force. Strength and renewal is what dragon fruit symbolizes. Cool. In many Asian cultures, dragon fruit flowers are seen as symbols of strength and renewal. Their ability to thrive in harsh, arid conditions and produce stunning blooms has led to associations with resilience and perseverance. Um, Blooming amidst harsh, arid conditions. Again, here's death at the bottom, where the Empress is like, it was like this. I don't want to show you incorrectly. Is like fertile and abundant and stuff like that anyway. There is abundance and fertility again. Again, it's like that Venus imagery. Cool. It also fits. That's why she's looking like dragon fruit instead of pomegranate today. Love it. Let's get the other half. Again, I don't know. This isn't, but that's fine. I got what I needed. I feel like sometimes I feel like I'm not looking for like any excuse to continue to self-sacrifice, but ultimately, like not only like that's something that I realized in a way earlier this year. It's like I can do better by the world and people that I care about by like doing these things for me now. And that was before I was like, okay. So I'm not saying like I'm looking for anything to like get me to like self sacrifice and to stay, but it is what it is, you know. I often wonder too. I'm like, it's funny. All right. The King of Wands. And it fell on top of this face down card, which is the Chancellor Justice. King of Wands. We just saw the Queen. Bottom of the deck is the Hanged Man. Oh, I was gonna. Oh gosh. Now they're on the floor. Under the Hanged Man is the Star. So there's the healer again. Um, it's interesting because the Star came out. I was using the Good Tarot. It had to be the Good Tarot and this deck. And I think it was the Eight of Cups, maybe. And it was a Good Tarot because there was an owl on the Queen of Swords and a butterfly on the Queen of Earth. And the butterfly on the Queen of Earth was tiny. And it was like a DC 17. And it was that whole like, how are we even supposed, like, the DC on this is so high, how are we supposed to know that things are changing and moving? Like, our intuition and our perception, our intuition and perception and intelligence ability to investigate, like, it was like a DC 18 or something like that. And I was like, how are we supposed to know? But it was like intuition. I was like, oh, okay, well, yeah. But we rolled a 19 today, so hey, the perception is perceptioning. And again, I'm not surprised. I also said that like my knowing is building. Um, Part of me is like, well, what does this mean? Part of me is like, how is this going to play out? The other part of me is like resolute. So I don't. Again, it is what it is. Oh, look at that! It's like the wind and the hangman, echoes and mirrors, the swirlies, and the King of Wands. This King of Wands is so interesting to me because he's sitting on his throne holding this wand, and it's like a power of presence that causes energy to swell all around him, and it affects like the environment around him and within a certain radius. um the Hanged Man at the bottom of the deck again, or maybe more so, it's like the power of stillness, things that can be done in stillness that still shape, influence, and impact the world around us. But yesterday, I've been playing Balatro since it was free on PlayStation. So like for months now, not all the time. I finally beat it. But it's Balatro is a rogue like card game. It's basically like poker, but you get special cards, and each hand scores differently. Like with the bonus chips and the multipliers, you can get planet cards that strengthen the each poker hand, so you get more chips. They have tarot cards, major arcana, where you can, it affects like the playing cards, so you can have like multipliers where it increases your multiplier. You can get bonus chips when a card is played and scored, or like other things, right? And so I saw the soul for the first time, and it gives you a legendary joker. Hold up. Sorry. Okay. I was like, Duolingo is giving me like the angry eyes. And I'm like, hold up. Why are you looking at me like that? It ain't even 10 o'clock yet. And I was like, did I miss a day? I didn't. Um, I saw the soul card, and it was between the Hanged Man and the Hermit. I took a picture of it. I was like, what? And it was in like a tarot card pack. It's like the soul creates a legendary joker. And those are the jokers that I had, and those were the cards that could be affected. And there's the hangman and the hermit. The hermit was under death, and the hangman was at the bottom of the deck. With the king of wands, I already put the deck away. Cool. Let's get a final archetype. The king and the fault line. The king. Oh, we saw King of Wands and we had that Hermit Taurus energy. Or Emperor Taurus energy. Emperor Taurus fire. Alright. We saw the king or the queen. We saw several queens. Now the kings are coming out. Oh, that was almost the dirtiest fall flip. Oh. Face down. Bottom of the deck is Agape. Hey. I think it's about time for some love to enter the laboratory. The medallion. Number 59. The medallion, the amulet, the talisman, the heirloom. The passing on of sacred objects is an ancient ritual within families, between lovers, and in tribes across the globe. We gift jewels, treasures, keepsakes, and mementos of all kinds, some of great material value, others that hold emotional resonance, and still others with both. Yet, when these gifts are bestowed upon us, it is important to recognize that they may bind us to an unspoken agreement or promise. When the medallion card appears, be aware of how the objects you hold dear may be embedded with unconscious energy or expectations. Materials hold consciousness, and it's time to reconcile the vibration of the objects around you. What do you covet and collect? Why? Is there an object you have held on to for years that you are ready to release? Perhaps it is time to reach for the medallion that aligns with our deepest values. Reaching for the medallion that aligns with our deepest values. We did see the vow at the bottom of the deck earlier. Agape is devotion, unconditional love. What if instead of putting yourself at the center of your spiritual practice, you put God, goddess, or nature at the center? How would this change your approach? Such is the energy of agape. It is alive when we are in awe and wonder, our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us. No. Yeah. Our breath taken away by the sacred force that surrounds us and asks for nothing in return. This card can indicate a spiritual initiation that stretches your capacity to love and serve. You sense the earthly as the heavenly and vice versa. Such an initiatory moment can appear in any form, and like a healing balm to the modern soul, its effects last a lifetime. The agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day, consciously or unconsciously. What are you elevating? Where does the sacred ladder you climb ultimately lead to? So both questions of reassessing, right? What do you covet and collect? Why? Is there an object you have held on to for years that you are ready to release? And then the agape card may also suggest you reassess what you worship every day. What are you elevating? Where does the sacred ladder you climb ultimately lead to? Cool. Oh, the one. Well, there's the one behind agape. So when it was like, what if you put God, goddess, or nature at the center? Well, the one is kind of like God, goddess, creator. So, cool. Cool. Two more decks. I know. Ooh, look, there's the keeper. With two ravens and a dove. Speaking of, and we did see Kaput Corvi twice. The Ravens head. Ooh, that was loud. Ooh. Here's the Two of Pentacles again. Bottom of the deck is the Scarlet Shield, Sanctum of the Valiant. We see her again. The card that came out is the Tension. Two of Orbs. Let's read it. Shall we? Here we go. Twos. The discerning one, two of scepters. The joined one, the tension, two of orbs. Where are the kings and queens? When I'm telling you this time, I tell kings and queens. Don't ever mess around with my greens, especially the beans. I wish. Where are the mages? I mean, not the mages. Where are the core cards? Hello? $44. There we go. Okay. The tension. Past suffering sires future opportunity. Work harder and double down. Shoulder more commitments and steer your ship through the rough tides. Carpe noctem. Work at your dreams late into the night, harder than everybody else, and the gods will reward you for your dedication. Pictured here is Allah, an Alusi of the earth, and the underworld from the Ordinani or Igbo pantheon. The python comes as her messenger. This is prognostication of a pivot, one with financial implications. Exercise pragmatism in money matters. Don't make it personal. The constellation Draco is visible in the top left corner of the skies. The brightest star is Thuban, a binary star system, meaning Python in Arabic. From 4000 to 2000 BC, Thuban was the North Pole star prior to Polaris. Tension is the pull between a pair of forces and the harbinger of change. Tension portends change. Forces are volatile and in motion. Your next step will be determinative. Ooh. Oh, wow. How about? Probably not. I rarely ever read from the Little White Book. I've never even noticed the constellation of stars up there. It's interesting. It said the Python is, what did it say? The Python comes as her messenger. And we saw the snake in the vision, the shaman, and conjunctio. They all had snakes in it. Prognostication of a pivot. Cool. The Scarlet Shield, Sanctum of the Valiant. There must be sacrifice for there to be glory. Your spirit guide in this sanctuary is a shorn one, an Aztec warrior priest who shall be your formidable line of defense as you charge forth confidently to face your battles. His shield features an eagle devouring a serpent, a divine omen from the gods. And yet the Scarlet Shield reminds you to wear your armor, protect yourself by asserting yourself. Protect yourself by asserting yourself. Pictured in the background is the city-state Mexico is a city-state in the 15th century. I'm not even going to try today. Cultivate your confidence and fearlessness. The Force mentioned fearlessness. Cultivate your confidence and fearlessness. Make sure your voice is heard. You do that by presenting yourself as logical and reasoned. Also, do not hold back. Conquer to dominate. Invoke the warrior spirit. Encourage an opponent to make mistakes so you can capitalize on it. Mind games bring victory. Ooh, girl. They said, play mind games. Like, what? But it's about reasoning and logic, again, like she said. So it's more so, I'm assuming, so that we can spot the flawed reasoning and logic in our own lines of thinking, right? The initiate. Now we see the initiate where we saw the keeper. I didn't realize the necromancer was so. Well, I guess it wasn't. Was it? All right. Final esca. Ooh, that was the roughest flip. Almost lost half the deck. Only one card flipped over. It's bottom of the deck is New World Order, Crown of the Magi. Here we see the world again. The card that came out is the joined one, Two of Chalices, Abyssus, Abyssum, and Wokat. The depths of you call to the depths of me. Love that energy. And then the Six of Swords is behind the world card. So let's see. Let's read. I should have gotten into these little white books more. I'm kind of sad that I didn't. But hey, it's fine. The world and the Two of Cups. Two of Cups, Two of Cups. Realm of the Twos. In external alchemy, the joined one guides us to choose our allies. It designates an outer accord, but also an inner accord. In internal alchemy, this spirit guides us to unite our anima and animus. This is the spirit of two becoming one, and an omen of perfected love, love in all its divine forms. Abyssus, Abyssum, and Wokat. Sea calls to sea, or the depths of me call out to the depths of you. Do not neglect the relationships you cherish. I already forgot what was at the bottom. The world. New World Order. Key 21, New World Order. This is the spirit you encounter when a cycle has come to its completion. Great balance and stability come when the catalyst has succeeded at creating a new zeitgeist. You are the New World Order who brings positive change to the zeitgeist. You are the catalyst. This is the spirit of you succeeding at creating the change you have wanted to see in your world. What do you see in your world right now that is broken or causes suffering? What is your dream of how your world can be repaired? The New World Order is the spirit ready and by your side, aiding you, guiding you, so that you can truly and fully embody the catalyst to a most wonderful change, a change that will make the world you live in a much better place for all. The New World Order ushers in a period of renaissance and unification. When Key 21 appears to you, it is the divinatory mark of a new epoch in your life. With it comes dramatic changes to your world. This is the spirit of a great power rising. Cool. Cute. I do want to get like an I Ching. You know what I mean? Let's I Ching that. Sure, why not? They came out. And then I'll end this. Cool. What is all this? Outline. There we go. That's what I need. I need that table of contents. Where is I Ching? I Ching. Astrology. Here we go. I Ching. Correspondence tables. There we go. So this is wind over earth. And wind over earth is I Ching number 20, critique. I don't think I've ever gotten this one before. I don't think. Come on, why isn't it doing the scrolly scroll? Okay, this is... There we go. There's 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Critique, reassessment, audit yourself. There is a need for contemplation, seeing but not understanding. Like a child, you see the circumstances going on around you, but you fail to grasp the ramifications. Kings past call upon the four guardians of the universe to aid them toward the correct guidance of their people. You must do the same. It is a time for quiet introspection and self reflection. Before you proceed, reevaluate the inquiry at hand and restate for yourself what your motivations are. If your true motivations do not align with the divine, adjust your motivations. Only after sincere contemplation should you return for a second divination. Cool. I should have just, let's see. It'll give me the same number. You know what? I'm going to ask Google to give me a number between 1 and 100. There are only 64 I Ching, so if it's over 64, then I won't get another one. And if it's number 20, then hey, this is accurate. 20 is also judgment. Hey, Google, choose a number between 1 and 100. $77. There is no I Ching number 77. So with that, well, I guess the medallion even, both the medallion and Agape mentioned reassessing. What I could take, I mean, so low hanging fruit from me from that is even with me moving towards what I want in life and moving in the direction that I'm moving, part of the focus is still like the world at large. Like, I'm not built to be selfish. I'm not built to disregard how other people are doing. And I'm not built for a success that comes at the expense of someone else. I'm just not. Um, but maybe it's like even then, there's so much energy and effort that is like still the larger, greater external world when I'm in a time of doing what makes me happy. And it may be easier to truly pursue that if I don't consider like everything else, right? Because then I'm making a choice that is inherently a compromise. And it's a choice and decision. It's a way of moving, navigating, operating. Whatever I choose and decide because I am who I am, how I am, it's naturally going to benefit the people in my life and the world to whatever scale and degree, right? So I don't have to potentially like I don't have to overly consider it to the point where it would affect the choice that I make. The choice that I'm being encouraged to make, which is the one for my happiness and impact and everything else. So, yeah. All right. Well, this has been a self alchemy. I hope you all have an amazing whatever whenever you see this. I hope your heart's in alignment to take all that you wish to experience your reality. I hope that whatever you need along your path journey and what you find. And like I was saying that towards the end of the video yesterday, um, this is where I am in my life and in my journey. So it's time for me to get all of what I've been working towards, all of what I want. So again, it's never going to be that I'm not like sympathizing and empathizing with what's happening in the world. Um, but it is a time to be one of those. It's a time to focus on me. And I can do more like when my cup overflows, right? It's to give from the overflow rather than self sacrifice. The story of self sacrifice has been played up to now, and it's not where I am anymore. So while I establish and reestablish myself, yeah, we'll see. I don't know. Anyway, see ya.